Welcome, everybody, to this training on how to create multiple streams of income. My name is Luke Scott III, and I'm super excited to share this with you. I have been on a real journey my whole life of figuring out different ways to play this game, and I never liked the idea of working in a job until I retired. I worked for a big corporate company for 5 years. I think a lot of you who know me will know that. It was a $2 billion company, 16,000 employees. And I actually started off as a temp there just to get a foot in the door, and then worked my way up to becoming a senior manager. And it was an amazing revelation into what I did not want for the rest of my life. Let me know in the chat if anyone has worked in corporate before and you know what that was like. There are some companies out there. The one that I worked for was just very serious, all about, and a lot of people's mental health really suffered. And I could not honestly think of anything worse than doing that for another 40 years and then wait for this retirement, which was barely going to cover the cost of living if your pension even comes through, because that's a whole risky thing, right? I remember sitting down with one of my managers and they said, okay, so how much are you going to put in your pension? I said, nothing. They're like, no percent? I'm like, yeah, 0%. Said, if I have to rely on this pension by the time I'm 70 years old, my life has gone really, really wrong. So just always knew, right? Always knew. Now, what I did learn working in that huge corporation was a lot about business, a lot about business, a lot about sales, about managing people, about marketing. It was an invaluable education. So lots of great things. And I think I was put there purposefully to experience that. And it just so motivated me. I'm somebody who is just motivated by freedom. And when people tell me what to do, that is just not my favorite thing at all. So I saw this quote by one of the world's most successful investors called Warren Buffett, and it inspired me and it changed my life. And it said, if you don't find a way to earn while you sleep, you will work until you die. So you want to write that down. If you don't find a way to earn while you sleep, you will work until you die. So if you are trading time for money, like most people are, I won't make you put that in the chat, but if you're trading time for money, what happens when you're unwell? What happens when you have a family emergency? What happens if something comes up and you just can't work? For most people, this is the life, and especially business owners who are trapped in their businesses. They really find this. If anything goes off piste, like the plan starts to get skewed, they can really get themselves in a lot of trouble. So passive income became a big part of my life. I have invested over £100,000 in different trainings and coachings and mentors and traveling around the world to learn how to create different streams. So that's what I'm going to share with you. That's a short background on me. I guess just to tell you all as well, I did not come from a family where there was loads of financial abundance. My mum raised me and my brother on government benefits. And so really like childhood story, which a lot of people will look at, your money story. And your money story can be something that can continue for your whole life. So my money story was really one of like growing up and seeing that there was not enough of it, and that money was a subject that made a lot of people upset. And I just knew I did not want that for myself and for my family. One experience was becoming a sales director for an international software company. That was an amazing experience. I got to travel all around the world, making more money than I ever imagined I could do, and really got to see that even when you have all of the money coming in, it didn't make me happy because I wasn't doing something that I loved. And this is where a big part of my passion comes in. How can we get people to create income streams doing things they actually love, so they have the money and the happiness and they're enjoying their life and they're making a big difference. So if that sounds good, let me know in the chat. You can just put a yes if that sounds exciting. And let's get straight into it. Some of these different income streams I'm going to talk about are completely passive. Some of them you need to put some love and energy into, and some of them you need to put a lot of love and energy into. My intention for this is to inspire you. Maybe we'll plant a seed and then you can go from there, and maybe in a few years it will blossom. Maybe you'll do it today. Maybe you'll come tomorrow, you'll message me, you'll email me, you'll say, hey, Luke, I made this whole new plan. And that would be amazing. You can move really quickly. Some people take their time. There's no right way or wrong way. It's totally up to you. So passive income vehicle number one is to start a business with a product that you can leverage. So leveraging means not trading your time for money. So if you start a business and you have to be there for the business to run, that is not a business that can be super, super successful, and it can't give you time freedom if you have to be in it. I have a friend who has an amazing company. He imports this stuff called ceremonial cacao. It's a plant medicine. It's like raw chocolate medicine. It's been used for thousands of years by a shaman all over the world. He imports it from Venezuela. He packages it here. He blesses it. And then he has this amazing company called Full Power Cacao. You can check it out, fullpowercacao.com. And that's great, right? He's got a product. People really want it. It's becoming super, super popular. But here's how he leverages it. And this is the smart thing. Firstly, he doesn't do everything. He has people in his team. He has employees. Secondly, he partners with other businesses. So for example, he partners with local stores, community centers, and they sell the product on his behalf. So even if he takes a day off, there's people selling his products. So literally, while he's asleep, his products are selling. He also has a website. So if you have something, some kind of product that you think can really change the world, it's how can you leverage that? How can you automate it as much as possible? Can you build the right team around it and get the right plan so that when you wake up, you've got loads of orders? And I remember the first time I ever did this, and I woke up, I could literally see PayPal orders on my phone, and that was one of the best feelings. That quote from Warren Buffett about if you don't find a way to earn while you sleep, you'll work until you die. I had that on my vision board for a long time. It just resonated with me. And when I actually made money while I was asleep, life-changing. So maybe just take a moment. Think, is that inspiring to you? We've got 7 more different potential streams you could look into as well. But is there some kind of product that you know you have in your mind, an idea maybe right now? Here's something as well that holds a lot of people back. They think they don't know enough. They think they don't have enough time. They think they don't have enough money. You don't have to know everything. There's someone who knows it. You don't have to do all of the work yourself. You don't have to even put the money yourself. You can find other people who can invest in it. But all things need a visionary. Every single thing that exists was an idea once. Maybe you're the visionary, or maybe you partner with another visionary. Who knows? Build a team. Find someone who knows how to do the logistics, and someone who knows how to do the marketing, and someone who knows how to build the website. And when I started out in one of my businesses, I actually got a lot of people who wanted to do that for me. They volunteered to do these things for me because they just loved what I was doing. I didn't even have to pay them. And so the money thing as well, there's lots of different ways to start your businesses. You can do crowdfunding, you can do all sorts of different things. So I never like money to be the reason why people don't go for their dreams. If that is the main thing stopping you right now, here's something that one of my mentors told me that changed my life. He said, there's no such thing as a lack of resources, just a lack of resourcefulness. There's an abundant amount of resources on this planet, but maybe you're not being resourceful enough to tap into it. So maybe ask someone, maybe you know someone who is more resourceful, who's done that game before, someone who's already built a business, and you can ask them. You can also get a coach, you can get a mentor, you can get a guide. That was what I did when I first started out. And this actually brings me nicely onto income stream number 2. Income stream number 2 is to create some kind of coaching, mentorship, healing service, some kind of course. It can be online or in person, some kind of package. It can be a 3-month, a 6-month coaching package. It could be a 4-week, 8-week course. You could do some kind of in-person event, do some kind of retreat, or you could create some kind of like online courses, audiobooks, something along those lines. I can see a comment here from Raj saying, how do you get a good mentor or guide? I've been looking for one. Raj, always go and find somebody who's already done what you want to do and ask them to show you how. That's it. Find someone who's actually done it, right? Someone who's been there, they know what they're talking about, and they're the people who you want to listen to. So when I first started out, after I was in my corporate sales director job, I started my business. I met this public speaker and he told me, you can travel all around the world. You can help thousands, millions of people have a great time speaking on stage, and people will come and join your programs. And that just felt so exciting to me because I'd already been training and coaching and guiding people through all the different businesses I've had. And I just knew I could really give something special to people. Now, because I was a sales director in a corporate company, the first thing I ever taught was sales. So who here, just write in the chat, who here would like to get better at sales? Who thinks that there's an expansion you could have around how to sell yourself, your products, whether it's for a job interview or you're on a date? It's like, how well do you sell yourself? Most people I found want to learn how to sell better, although not everybody sticks to it because selling can be really uncomfortable. And a lot of people make a product, but they never actually go and sell it. So I joined all different kinds of sales academies. I've had sales mentors. I've had business mentors. Even though I was a sales mentor, I had a sales mentor, which is cool. I joined mastermind groups, so many different ways to learn from other people and up level the skills. Now, I think some people, because I've helped loads of people do this over the years, overcomplicate things. They think, oh, wow, it's going to be so hard to make a package or make a program. You can do it today, straight after you watch this. It will take you an hour, maximum 2 hours. You can create a product and you can start selling it today and you can make money today if you really want to. And I'll tell you exactly how to do it. I won't hold anything back. Find something you're good at. It could be gardening. It could be singing. It could be making smoothies, right? I don't know, whatever you're good at. You can create a program to teach people how to do that, how to make smoothies, how to do gardening, how to sing, how to write a book, how to make your own soap, like whatever it is. People want to know all of this stuff. So I've done sales coaching, I've done business coaching, help people with their relationships. I have tried lots of different areas, and now with my spiritual mentorships that I do, it incorporates a little bit of everything. And because when people come and work with me, we upgrade them on all different levels, right? We do the freedom piece. Are they happy? Do they have a job that they like? Do they need to create more different streams? Do they want to start a business? I just literally had a client today who wants to start a business. So I'm going to help him to do that. What is it you're really good at? Just have a think, maybe write it down. Now, a lot of people then think, okay, it's going to be complicated. I'll have to go and make some online courses. I'm going to have to do different things. No, you don't have to do any of that stuff. Create a package right now. Think about if you want to do it over 4 weeks, 8 weeks, or 12 weeks. Just pick one. This is just an imagination exercise. So let me know in the chat what you might be interested in doing, or whether it's gardening or dancing or whatever it is. And whether it's 4 weeks, 8 weeks, or 12 weeks, you think it would take for you to teach somebody that thing. 4 weeks, 8 weeks, or 12 weeks. Now, all you will do is have a call with them just like this. An online call. Angelina says wellness coaching for 12 weeks. Absolutely brilliant, Angelina. You can create that right. Well, you just did create it right now. So you can just literally go to some people who you know, who maybe you've already been helping a little bit, maybe on your social media, say, hey, everyone, I've created a 12-week wellness coaching program where I'm going to help people with XYZ. I've got 5 slots available. If anybody is looking to change their life, drop me a message and let's get on a call. It's literally that simple. Yep, Fontana, before you've created it, absolutely. You just do it right now. And all you need to do, if you're doing a 12-week program, you have one call like this every week, 12 calls. That's it. You can charge whatever you want for that. You could charge £1,000, £2,000, £10,000, whatever you feel your 12 weeks of coaching is worth. And if you genuinely are doing this because you want to help people and you know your stuff, it would be a no-brainer. Yeah, someone's asking, why can't we just learn things from YouTube? You absolutely can learn things from something like YouTube. But most people, it just takes them so long. It literally takes them years to learn what you can learn in a few days if you get a mentor or you do it more direct. I also like to go to these intense courses where you do like a 3-day intensive. So I just ran some workshops at this 3-day men's retreat last weekend. It's brilliant. 3 days to go really, really deep. Yeah, and it's people will buy you, right? Right? You don't need a fancy website, but it's not important. I'll meet someone. They don't even need to see that stuff because they can feel that you know what you're talking about. Get them on a call. You can get your first clients today, Angelina, if you really, really want to. So that's the second income stream that you could do. Third income stream, partnering with other businesses to help them grow. And you can either do that as an exchange for like a profit split with them, or you can do it as a contractor. So for example, if you're really good at sales and your friend has a business and they're struggling to get sales, I just met someone who this is the exact thing. I said to them, I'm really good at sales. I'll come and sell your product for you. Let's talk about and negotiate what that would look like in terms of finances. So if I go and I become their sales director, it doesn't mean I have to trade all my time for money. Maybe I work up with them 10 hours a month. Maybe I do 4 calls like this, 1 call a week for 2 hours, and I help them with their sales and I get their team skilled up. You are good at something. For sure, you are good at something. And there are loads of businesses out there that are doing amazing things in the world that you could probably really, really help. So could you partner with them? You can also do things as a contractor. So being a contractor is a great way. For example, my wife, she does mental health training. So she works for herself and she would go into any corporation that needs mental health training, and she will go and she'll create a training program for them and deliver it. I did that for a charity that we were working with. We created a program. They wanted to learn how to be better communicators and speakers. And so we created a program for them, and then you can go and you can deliver that training or that coaching or that guidance. It's a really easy way. And if you are in a job right now, let me know if anyone's in a JOB. JOB stands for just over broke. That's always stuck in my head. Let me know if you're in a JOB and what you do, and then see how can you transfer that. I'll give you a great example. One of my mentees, she was working for the NHS in the addictions clinic. She was helping people with drug and alcohol addictions. She's now created a YouTube channel. She's spoken at some of my events. She's spoken now all over the place. And now she's getting her own coaching clients. She's built a website up helping people overcome addictions. So she's now an addictions coach. How cool is that? She was literally doing it anyway for this corporation, the NHS. And now she's just doing it for herself. How cool is that? So whatever you are doing, there will be transferable skills in that. If you love it, right? If you love it, but maybe you just don't love the company you work for. I was working as a director. I didn't feel and I was selling computer software, which isn't that sexy. It is helpful, not that sexy. And so it was just a shift, just a small shift. And often people are just a few tweaks away. And this is something that I remember is always stuck with me too. Going to get a little bit deep here. So maybe take a nice deep breath in and out. The universe is abundant. There is abundance all around you all of the time, but most people don't see it. It's like they've got these blinkers on, right? They're closed to the opportunities. And when you can open yourself to the opportunities, when you just see what is already around you, maybe someone came to you today and they asked you for something and they could have been a client. Maybe someone asked you for something and you know a friend who does it. Maybe there's so many different ways if you are open. And this brings me on to number 4, income stream 4. This is something I've done really well with throughout my life, is generating commissions and referrals by selling other people's products. One of my mentors, he runs this amazing 3-day business course. It's £3,000 for the 3-day course. I learned more in that 3-day course than I learned in 4 years at university studying business. Honestly, what I learned in university studying business was negligible compared to what I learned in these 3 days from someone who actually knows what they're talking about. So I made a deal with him because I was recommending him anyway, just because what he was doing was amazing. So we made a deal. If someone joins his program, who's my recommendation, they pay £3,000, I would get £500 commission. Now, I was recommending him anyway, so now I'm just even more excited and motivated to recommend. Does that make sense? So I do this. If any of you bring me, anybody who wants to join the spiritual mentorship, if they want to grow their heart-centered business, if they want to receive any of the activations, if they are looking to improve their life in that way, I give 20% commission. So if they join my program for £1,000, you get £200 commission. If they join my program for £5,000, you get £1,000 commission. If they join my £10,000 program, you get £2,000 commission just for recommending them. You don't even have to do the selling. You just bring them. And I really like that kind of a model. I think it is really good to support your friends and local businesses. And it feels very abundant to me to gift that to people when they do recommend you. Another way that I do this, so there are different businesses that you can have where you can make people. Every company, like pretty much that, especially big ones like Uber and all of those things, they all have referrals and give you points, where they give you little discounts. But when I was 18, I started my first referral business. I was actually doing door-to-door sales as well. So that was a real upgrade in your ability to get rejected. And again, if we talk about sales and people being a little bit nervous about sales, learning to get rejected, learning to handle no's, that's a big one. Me and my wife met in a KFC restaurant, for anyone who is curious about that. And I had a picture of Colonel Sanders on my gratitude board because he started KFC when he was around 65 years old. And he was rejected for his recipe over 1,000 times. He made over 1,000 pitches before someone said yes. If he had never kept going, maybe I wouldn't have met my wife. And so we met in this KFC chicken restaurant, and now we're both vegan. And now I'm an animal rights activist. And I'm still grateful for Colonel Sanders for all that he did. And now he's making vegan products. So that's even better too. So learning about referrals in different ways. And this is really, really good for people if they don't have a lot of money to put in to start something. And again, remember, this is what I really, really believe. You get resourceful. The other version of that is get creative. How can you find this? If you really are determined to make something happen, you don't just give up. You find a way, right? You find a way. This is what all the best leaders do. There's so many hurdles, you had obstacles to jump over on this road, right? And do we give up? No, of course not. That's why you're all here. So I know you're those kind of people too. So if you don't have a lot of money right now, you could start off selling other people's products, whatever that is. I used to carry a briefcase around filled with all different products, and I used to go selling them to people, and it worked. People bought it. I got a lot of no's, but got some yeses, and it was a way. And it was also a great way to learn a skill set. So I'm a big fan of commissions, referral kind of businesses, selling other people's products. And yeah, if you do want to like talk to me about selling my products, I would be so happy to do that. If anybody here has a product, like just think, how happy would you be if someone helps you to sell it? And wouldn't you be happy to give them a percentage? Um, yeah. So that's a really, really good way. And oh, here's another one. We'll just talk about sales for a little second. If you think you're not good at selling, I will challenge you on that. I have a 2-year-old daughter. Wants something, she knows exactly how to get it. She has a whole array of tricks and techniques to get what she wants, and you do too. I bet most of your life you get your own way. I bet you do. I bet if you really want to go somewhere, you go there. It's not very often that you don't get your way because you are an expert salesperson, and it's a reframe in that. But we just complicate things, remember? A lot of people do. So now we're going to talk about number 5, income stream. This has been something I have been studying for 6 years now, and I've had a lot of lessons. I kissed a lot of frogs to find different systems that work, but something that's making many, many millionaires and even billionaires is crypto and crypto-based projects. There was a coin last year called Shiba Inu, if anyone heard of that, and some people became literal billionaires from it because it shot up thousands and thousands of percent. And I jumped in on it on the advice of someone, and then it crashed. So, timing is really important in the crypto space, and also getting advice from people who really know what they're talking about. So I did learn, I went to this Forex university. I learned how to do Forex trading, and I spent months like figuring it all out. And my brain just doesn't really like it. It was not my way. And then I learned I can just take advice from people who are way smarter than me, who do love doing all of that analysis, and they can tell me now it's not a perfect science. In the trading world, if you make 10 trades, you don't usually get 10 that are wins, right? It's not, doesn't usually work like that. If it does, you're going to be the best trader in the world and everyone's going to want you, right? So you know that even when you are educated and you're working on the best information that you have, there's things that happen. You never know, but you can really give yourself good chances by taking advice from people. So we actually created an amazing group, like a collaboration of our friends who are all in this space, all in this income creation space, abundance space. And we all give each other advice. We call it the Abundance Academy. And it's a blast. We meet every week and we just share what's working for us in our world right now. And I will just say, disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give you any financial advice. Obviously, do your own research. I'm just sharing my experience. We all just share our experience. That's all we can do. Say, hey, this is working really well for me. It's been working well for a while now, but past performance doesn't necessarily indicate future results. So just because something worked in the past, it doesn't necessarily mean it will work. Well, if you can see a solid history and it seems legit and it's been assessed by some people who are really, really smart and they think it's good, you're giving yourself the best odds. But it's all odds, right? So it took me a long time to get a kind of trading mentality where I got used to the ups and the downs of that world. But let me tell you, if you start a business, there will be some ups and there will be some downs. I think there will be some days where you cannot believe how amazing you're doing. And there will be some days where you are pulling your hair out and you're really trying to figure out what can I do to overcome this challenge. And that's a part of the excitement of it. Do you know what the like absolute nightmare for me would be? to still be in that corporate job. I left 6 years ago. If I was still doing those spreadsheets now, if I was still calling those same lists of people, if I was still at that same desk, I would go insane. And so the risk of staying there is way greater for me than the risk of starting a business. Like the risk to my health, I was overweight. I dropped almost 4 stone when I left corporate because I was just eating so much crap, you know? And yeah, crypto is a beautiful opportunity to create massive abundance, but you need to really like educate yourself, get some great advice. If you are interested in that, I'm super happy to share with you the things that are working for me right now. And we have our Abundance Academy as well. So the best thing to do is whoever invited you here today, you can reach out to them and ask them to plug you into the Abundance Academy and everything that we're doing. And they'll be able to share with you the different cryptos and projects and things that are going really well for us right now. Crypto is exciting because it has the potential to go like thousands of percent, but it also has the potential to go to zero. And I think just as like something to be responsible with, you know, setting you on this path, really like feel into what you're doing in these projects. Some people that I know, they came in way too heavy, lost a lot, and then it really upset them. Other people who already kind of knew the game a little bit, because it's a game, they only used what they could potentially afford to lose, right? And they were smarter with it. And then even if you do lose, it doesn't impact you in the same way. So get some advice from some people maybe who've been doing it for a little while longer than you. I know some friends, some family members who've put thousands into just and lost it. That's not the best way. It's not the smartest way. I want to work smart. Okay, number 6, income stream is what are called commodities. And the commodities specifically that I am working with right now that are working super well for us are things like gold, things like silver, other precious metals. So we're doing a project at the moment around aluminium. And then there are other resources as well that I know a lot of people have done really well with, things like natural gas, things like oil and petroleum products. And let's just talk about gold and silver because that's probably the easiest one for you to understand. If you are currently keeping your money in a bank account, you are losing on that every single day. That is depreciating. It's a depreciating asset. Every single year you are losing hand over fist. And especially right now, the way that the governments in the world are printing money like it's going out of business, it is a really crazy time for anyone who is keeping all of their funds in a banking system. Gold, especially gold, historically holds its value over time. What this means is if you have your assets in gold, gold is actually an appreciating asset. That means every year it's worth more, especially compared to the fiat currencies, the paper money. Robert Kiyosaki from who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, he just posted last week. He believes that silver is really, really undervalued right now, and he believes that's going to 5x really soon. Now, Robert Kiyosaki is a big advocate for precious metals, gold and silver and stuff like that. So he's obviously going to say that because that's what he really believes. But it's something interesting. And when I learned how corrupt the banking systems are, and this is where I'm going to need to be careful with my words because YouTube might give me a strike. When I learned how corrupt the whole banking system is, and fractional reserve banking and all of the stuff that came with when they in the 1970s, currencies, the dollar, for example, was backed by gold. And in 1971, something happened people started asking the US government for this gold, and they decided to cut the dollar from the gold back standard. And now that meant that it was backed by nothing. And it also meant a lot of the other currencies in the world were backed by nothing. And fiat currencies, historically, over time, they fail. Just happened in Venezuela, not even worth the paper that it's printed on. Really, really like look into this if all of your wealth is in a bank right now. I follow the news. I run a news station, a Truth Speakers news channel, and I see all over the world. Last year in India, a bank went bust. People could not get their money. A few months ago, a bank went bust. People could not get their money out. It is a really crazy system, and we're just not educated on it, probably on purpose. Gold and silver tend to do really well. It's something to look into. Again, we have different ways of getting gold and silver because it brings up a lot of questions like, how do I get it? Where do I get it from? How do I make sure I'm getting a good deal? So again, reach out to whoever invited you here. In the Abundance Academy, we have this incredible system for gold and silver. We also have systems for the natural gas, the aluminium, and for some other things too. So if you are interested in doing that, there's a lot of potential income to be created there. So that's number 6. Number 7, income stream. We talked about crypto, but I want to talk about trading specifically. And when I'm thinking about trading, I'm meaning from my experience of Forex, but there's different kinds that you can do. Now, like I said, I studied and I learned and I tried it for myself, and I didn't really get the results that I wanted. I took advice from some really smart people and I was getting better results, but it took a lot of my energy and it just wasn't a passion for me. But what we do have, there are many amazing automated trading platforms. And these platforms basically do the trading for you. You put in the capital, whatever that is, and then they trade it. And you get back a certain percentage each month. And it works really well. You don't have to know anything other than putting it in and learning the system a little bit to know how to move your money around and stuff. Now, this way of doing it still has risk. Everything has risk. But if you can see someone has a really long trading history, and every day, if they do day trading or week or month, they're getting great results, it can be radical. It can be absolutely radical. Now, there's one platform, for example, at the moment that I'm using. They are giving their results on average. And again, past performance doesn't indicate future results necessarily. On average, it's like 10 to 12% per month that you get. So if you have 10,000 in there, that's going to be getting around 1,000 or 1,200 a month. Now, if that 10,000 was sat in a bank account, you're going to be losing on that every month. And if you put it into a trading platform where you believe in it and it looks like it's going to do good stuff and it's got a good history, instead that 10,000 can make you 1,200 every month. It's a very different way of being, and not many people know about it, which is one of the reasons I wanted to make this session today, just to tell people, hey, look, this is what's out there. We have vetted lots of different platforms. Currently have a few that are working really, really well. So again, if you're interested in that, reach out to whoever invited you and ask them which trading platforms. You might, like myself, you might want to do lots of different things, or you might just start off diving into one thing at a time and kind of learning that. That's actually how I did it. I started learning one thing, and then when that's working, I built another thing, and then I learned another thing, and then I learned another thing. So trading can be really great, and you don't have to be super smart. If you are super smart and you want to learn it all, that is great as well, and you can do so well. But yeah, it's accessible to anybody. Okay, that's number 7. And number 8, the last income stream that I am going to be sharing with you about today. And this is something I studied a lot, and I know many people who are using this particular income stream, and that is around properties and real estate. So a lot of people create amazing incomes through properties and real estate. Lots of different ways. You can do rental properties. You can flip properties, which means you can buy and sell them and you get a percentage on the contract of whatever you do. You can create developments. And so this is one of the things that we've been working on, is building communities all around the world. And it can be very accessible. You could get together with a group of friends, you could get some land, you could turn it into a community, and straight away that land is now worth way more than it was when it was just a field. This is a way you can create something that is really good for the planet, a beautiful place to live, can help lots and lots of people. And again, if you are the person who has lots of access to money and you can put the funds in there, you can do really well. If you are the person who has a lot of time and energy and can go out there and find the right land and find the right houses and help people, you can do really well. I learned about this method. I'll just tell you about it right now. It's called finding properties that are BMV, which means below market value. So below market value, let's say a house is pounds. It's going to be very small house nowadays. Let's say it's valued at £100,000. Maybe the person who's selling it really is in a hurry, a rush to sell it. They might sell you that house for £80,000. That means straight away you've made £20,000 on paper profit. You could then go and sell that house, or there's other things that you could do with it as well to leverage that. And now straight away you could go and get another property. And lots of people do this, they leverage them. I met a guy, he started out with almost no money and he wanted to do this. So he started off first flipping properties. He would go and negotiate the contracts with people and he would get, I don't know, maybe like £5,000 on each project that he did. So very soon he was then able to have enough to put in himself. And you can also partner with other people, right? You don't have to do all this by yourself. So you could get together with a group of friends and you can do this kind of stuff. Properties can be an amazing way to do it. And there are loads of teachers out there who can teach you how to do it. I'm not that person who's going to teach you that. What we have been teaching at our events lately is how to live in communities. That's been very popular. And there are lots of projects all around the world right now of people who want to live in community together. So that is something I'm very passionate about. And it's not that complicated. Actually executing it is maybe a bit more challenging. Just find the right people. I've got some friends who just bought a plot of land up in Scotland and they all moved in there together and then they're developing it. Can be a great way. I personally think the way we live in the UK, the way we have our neighborhoods and we don't even talk to our neighbors, it's not optimal. I much prefer to live in a place with other people who have similar vision, who are like you, right? Old people like you who are excited, who are ambitious, who want to change the world, who want to do great stuff. So they're the 8 things. I'll go through them again one more time if you want to write them down. And all of these things have the potential to create income for you and very quickly. So starting a business with a product that you can leverage, you could start the ball rolling with that literally today. You can also outsource a lot of what you do. So you can get even PAs and VAs for like very cheap from India, from America, from all different places. There's loads of VA companies. Maybe you can just take the pressure off yourself and your VA or your team can be a virtual team or an in-person team, can build your business while you're asleep. You could create some kind of coaching, mentorship, healing services, some kind of course, package, some kind of event, retreat, online course, video product, audio book, whatever. Something that can really help people. There is a lady who made a course called How to Train Your Cat to Act Like a Dog. And she's now a multimillionaire. You can do anything, literally anything. And maybe you don't know how to do that. You can just find a friend who knows, find someone who has a recording studio, find one of my courses that I made. I partnered with an amazing videographer. We agreed a partnership where he got a percentage of whatever we did. And in exchange for that, he videoed everything, he edited everything. I just turned up and spoke. Get creative, right? Get resourceful. So you can partner with other businesses to help them grow in exchange for a profit share or as a contractor. So you could become a director in another business. You could become a consultant for another business. Loads of different ways that you can do that. When you are helping build something that you really believe in, that you're really passionate about, it's a whole different beast to when you're doing it, when you're working in a company you don't really care about. Number 4, you can generate commissions and referrals by selling other people's products. So go and find a product that you love. Go and find one of your friends' businesses and just say, hey, if I sell £10,000 worth of your products, what would you give me? It can be a great way to get started. And yeah, if you're interested in doing that for me, I would love to talk to you about that. Number 5, crypto projects. There's so many crypto projects, new ones coming out all the time. We had great success with a crypto project just recently. One of my team, he's a beautiful brother. He came in. He is now making more from that one project each month than I used to make in my corporate job when I first started. And that's just from one project. But like I said, we did kiss a lot of frogs to find the ones that actually work. So reach out if that's something that you would like to know more about. Just to whoever invited you, they'll be able to tell you the details. Number 6, commodities. Gold, silver, things like aluminium, other precious metals, natural gas, oil, all of these kind of things. There are loads of different ways that you can do this. And I saw a comment in the chat, someone saying about fine art. Yeah, fine art is a great way to do it. I'm working at the moment on a project and I'm buying these different collectibles. I bought one. They don't cost an awful lot. I bought one for $230 about 2 months ago, and it has now almost doubled in value in 2 months. When you know what kind of collectibles to look out for, I used to do this when I was a teenager. I would go to car boot sales. I would find these Wedgwood plates. People used to sell them for 50p, and I would sell them then for £5, or some people would even pay £10 for them. Like being in the Antiques Roadshow. So yeah, you're exactly right. We can do collectibles, and fine art as well can be a great way. Number 7, trading, but especially automated trading. I say is just so much easier. You don't have to check your phone all the time. You don't have to worry about anything. No sleepless nights. It's a lot easier for me on my nervous system. But if you are the kind of person who can handle that, by all means, go for it. And then number 8, property, real estate. So rentals, flipping properties, developing properties. There's so many different ways that you can do that. So what I would say to you now, we've shared a lot of information. Hopefully some seeds have been planted. I'd love for you to take a few moments now to take a nice deep breath and have a look at that list of 8 things and just feel which of those is exciting to you right now. Don't worry about the how, don't worry about the knowledge gaps. You can learn literally anything if you want to, or find other people who can fill those skills gaps. But which feels exciting to you? Which would you get, wake up tomorrow and be buzzed to start? Or which straight after you watch this, would you be excited to go and start making a little plan? If I can help you with your plan, please do reach out. It's one of my favorite things to do. Great. I see someone saying property. Yeah, absolutely. So many people have been successful in properties. It's tried and tested. It does have its ups and downs as well, though. It's not all smooth sailing in the property. You do have to be smart with it as well. So I hope that was helpful. If I can help you in any way, let me know. If you're interested in any of the opportunities that we talked about, reach out to whoever invited you to this presentation. If it was me, you can get in touch with me, either message me or drop me an email, and I'll pop my email in the chat and you can grab me there. And I guess I'll just leave you with this final thing. Every single day that you wake up, you have a choice. You can choose to keep doing what you're doing, or you can choose to do something different. If you're not happy with where you are right now, if you know you're not at your full potential, if you feel like deep in your heart that you really want a different kind of life, you have to make some different choices. You have to get uncomfortable, get in that stretch zone, learn how to enjoy being uncomfortable. I love it when I'm uncomfortable because that means I'm doing something I've never done before. If you're always comfortable, it means you're doing things that are so easy for you. There's no growth there. The biggest risk you can take is to do nothing. If you just do nothing, if you just stay the same, how's your life going to be in 5 years or 10 years? What's your life for your family going to be like? Or your grandkids? You're a brave one. I know you are because you're watching this. You've watched this all the way to the end. You've got something. You know, you're one of the people that can really do something incredible if you commit yourself. You don't have to have all of the answers. You don't have to do everything yourself. Collaboration is the key. Commitment, getting really stuck in there, digging deep. When something's important to you, you do it. And you know that, right? You probably eat most days because it's important to you. You make it happen. You probably sleep most days because it's important to you. I had another quote on my vision board, and I'll leave you with this one. It said, find something that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning. When you can do that, you're going to have a phenomenal life.